Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review stroke comparison video. This one, as you can tell from the title, we've got a couple of beers going up against each other. One is a Lidl brand one and the other one is a big name brand, if you like. So let's crack on. So the first one I'm going to show you, like I say, is from Lidl, and this is their Birra Italiana lager. Now, you're bound to recognise that kind of branding. It's basically a rip-off, isn't it, of Peroni. 500ml bottle, 5%, £1.39 from Lidl for that. And like I said, we are going to put it up against the original Italian one. And this is Peroni. Nastro Azzurro. This is also in a 500ml bottle. This is also coming in at 5%. But I picked this up from the One Stop and I think it was £2.29 for that. So a big difference in price, really. It's almost £1 difference in price. Both got green bottles, as you can see what I meant from the sort of branding. So yeah, I've done one of these before between Lidl's own Birra Moretti, if you like. Put it up against the original Birra Moretti. They were both sort of similar, but I think for the extra 40p, the Moretti was worth that extra bit, if you like. Just felt better, to be honest. So I don't have Peroni glasses, so we've got two identical glasses. So let's get these cracked open and see what we get. I'm not a big fan of Peroni anyway, so God knows what that's going to be like. But we'll soon find out. If they both smell a bit skunky, we'll know that Lidl have done half a decent job of copying Peroni. Whew, Jesus Christ, I can smell that. Smell that a mile off. So, I'm guessing that is a glass my missus cleaned for me because the bubbles are sticking to it. Do screen, so in a glass, plenty of carbonation going up, a finger of compact white head, sort of golden in colour, and that horrible skunky aroma that you always get from a Peroni. So let's get the Peroni one open. There's the old bottle cap there. Get that poured in and see what we get from that one. I'm getting that bit of skunkiness, but nowhere near the same sort of skunky smell I've had off the other one, and they look totally different. Jesus Christ, I hate that fucking smell. Very much different in my opinion. This Peroni is a lot lighter. Carbonation, similar. Certainly a bigger head on the Peroni as well. We've got a two-finger sort of compact head, but more of a lighter colour. That looks a little bit more sort of golden, malty colour, if you like. But the smells coming off them are exactly the same, that horrible, weedy, skunky smell. So, let's dive in on Lidl's own branded one with the nose and see what we get on that. Yeah, now that sort of skunkiness has sort of gone. I'd say there's maybe a little bit of a trace of it in there, but nothing major. Go in again. A little bit of lemon. Bit malty. Maybe a little bit of sort of spiciness in there. Standard sort of stuff really. Nothing, it doesn't really blow you away. Nothing majorly funky in there though. So let's go on to the Peroni one. Okay. No inkling of that sort of skunkiness in this for me. Bit of hop, same with the other one. This has got a bit more of a brown bready feel on the nose, if I'm totally honest. Brown bread, malty. A little bit sort of light citrus in there. I mean, they are similar. I'll be honest with you, they are similar. That's definitely lost all that horrible sort of skunky smell. But they're similar, but this has got a lighter, nicer, crisper nose on it. So without further ado, let's dive in with Lidl's Birra Italiana. Let's give it a top up. Give it a bit more life. Let's give that a try, see what we get from that. Yeah, the initial bit was on the taste you sort of got that little feeling of a little bit of sort of like skunkiness in the taste. Bit bready, bit malty, that's sort of coming in, but it does feel quite light. I mean, it's certainly not the greatest beer, don't get me wrong. It's got that sort of spicy thing that I've always remembered sort of with Peroni, if you like. It smells very sort of standard sort of lager, if you like, but nothing too majorly bad in there, I would say. So let's dive in with a bit of Peroni now and see what we get with this one. Cheers. Again, yeah, you got that little bit, the initial mouthful, a little bit of that sort of, I say skunky. It smells a bit skunky. It's you know, interesting. It's a lighter beer. Started out, yeah, you got that sort of little bit of skunkiness. It's got more hoppy spiciness about it, this has. You get that straight away, that carbonation's sort of like pushing that sort of spiciness around, that hoppy spiciness in there. It's got that, like I said, this had that sort of like typical sort of Peroni sort of thing going on. That little bit of a spicy kick, but not as much as this. Let's go in with this one. Yeah. Comparing the bodies. Ironically enough, the Lidl one sort of feels heavier than the Peroni. But I think this Lidl one is a bit more malty, but it still has a watery feel about it. Whereas the Peroni doesn't necessarily have that watery feel. Excuse me, I'm going to be filling up with gas. Hoppy, spicy, a gentle malty sweetness in there with a little bit of citrus lemon. Yeah. Similar, but just that little bit rougher around the edges. 5%. I think you get more of that 5% with the Peroni, I think, because of that hoppiness. It's not as clean. The Lidl's one isn't as clean or crisp. In all honesty, it's gone a little bit of the same way as the Birra Moretti one that I've done, the Lidl version versus the original. Now, almost a £1 difference between this and the Peroni. Yeah, maybe you can get a better deal on it. But for me, is it worth buying the Lidl one over the Peroni or the Peroni over the Lidl one? Personally, I think it's going to come down to finances, this one. Being nearly a £1 difference on this occasion, you may well be able to pick it up cheaper. Being a £1 different, I personally still would pick up the original Peroni over the Birra Italiana. But if you are on a budget, it does have that feel of Peroni. That you can't, I don't think you can really sort of knock it. But it's just, it's like anything. As soon as you have sort of like a copy or something, somehow it's just not as rounded or as full-bodied or as smooth, or, you know, there's going to be different elements that are going to be better. But for me, Peroni beats Lidl's rip-off, if you like. But you are going to pay more for it. So, skunky smell on the burp. Yeah, you are going to pay more for Peroni over the Birra Italiana. But how does it compare? It's similar. That's similar. You could certainly drink the two side by side. And you could certainly say this one, it's got Peroni in it, if you like. But it's just not as good. It's just not as good. It's not as good. Simple as. So I'm going to stop waffling. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to comment, like and share the video, subscribe and all that lot. And I will see you again soon on another one. Now I've got to drink these. Cheers.